So the royal family is opening the doors of Balmoral Castle to the public and giving guided tours today for the first time in more than 170 years.
And one man who spent plenty of time there is former Royal Butler Grant Harold, who joins us now. Grant, we know the Queen loved Balmoral, and that's, of course, where she was in her final days. Why was it so special?
I think for many reasons, but most importantly, it was a family home, and it's where she spent a lot of time with her family. I mean, we all know the Queen, obviously monarchy was the first thing, but she always said that family was right behind that. And so time with family was important, whether it be at Sandringham or Balmoral, which were both properties that she privately owned. I think people forget that if we suddenly no longer had a royal family, the royal family still owned Sandringham and Balmoral, so they're private homes and very special.
Which kind of makes it even more surprising that King Charles has decided to open the doors to the public.
I was surprised when it was announced, because for many years I've always said that Balmoral's one of the most private homes. You know, they've always been quite fierce about keeping a private home, private estate. You can visit the gardens at certain times of the year. You can see the ballroom as well. But to actually go in the rooms is really a big step for them. And I think it just shows you that the kind of future of the monarchy with properties is opening the doors and letting the public in to see them.
Yeah.
Now, you had a very special occasion in that ballroom, because you saw a film in there, but I'm actually interested by who you danced with in that ballroom.
In the film that I watched, the documentary, it was the Queen dancing, and I remember thinking I would love to dance with the Queen. And about 12 years later, I was in that ballroom and got to dance with her in that room. So
that's fabulous.
Was
she in her full tartan regalia?
She was in a beautiful dress. She had a blue dress on, which similar to what she wore in the documentary that I saw. And they actually replicated the scene in The Crown.
Right. I
was very disappointed to see that Brad Pitt wasn't playing sadly.
How unfair.
How did that come about, though, dancing with her?
I basically put my name down to go to the Gillies Ball, which I'd seen in the documentary, and there was no possibility of just dancing with her. I actually danced with Queen Camilla before I actually got to dance with the Queen. And I remember she said, "You're very nervous." And I said, "Because I had this dream as a kid that I'll get to dance with the Queen." And she said, "Oh, Grant, there's 130, 40 people here, it's not going to happen." And as soon as she finished, behind me was the Queen, and the music started, and we went into a reel. And was a very good dancer. But I always remember she kept looking down to make sure that we were doing the right footsteps, you know, with the Scottish dance. She would tell you off. She would tell you off if you got your footing wrong.
Really?
Was it intimidating, dancing with her, or...?
Nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking,
the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done.
Really?
But for me, it was a dream come true, and I got to do it on other occasions as well. And it was just beautiful being in that stunning castle, in that ballroom. You know, it was just an amazing for me.
You went to a lot of the residences. Was it your favourite, would you say? Was it?
Yeah, absolutely. And funny enough, when I started working for the family, I was sent to Scotland because they felt it was the best, that residence, or Birkhall, I should say, which is where the King resides when he's up there. It's where they're most at home and most relaxed.
Right.
So for my training, initially I was sent up there so that I could actually see them in a very kind of comfortable environment. And it was wonderful. I had so many great memories and so many great years up there with them.
And they're completely isolated up there, aren't they? Nobody sees them.
Well, nobody sees them, but there was a couple of occasions. I remember once doing a lunch with the now King, and we came out of this little cottage where we were doing this picnic, and as we came out the house, this huge sightseeing bus suddenly appeared just to the side.
Yeah.
And because everybody came out, and I think they couldn't quite believe that there was, you know, then the Prince of Wales, and he was very good about it. He just kind of waved to everybody and then just got in vehicles and we all kind of drove off. But it's somewhere that if they wanted to, they could be private. But sometimes members of the public did bump into even the Queen and the present, Queen Camilla. Members of the public did bump into them, and apparently, well, I know for a fact Queen Camilla actually said that sometimes you see royals walking around on the estate, and she didn't actually say anything.
Well, looking on the website, looks like the afternoon tea's sold out, certain tours have sold out, but there are still 50 tickets available on the Balmoral Castle website, which is $17.50 per adult.
Do you think they might send us a couple?
Right,
That would give them a nice plug.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, before we go, if you'd like to join us on election night, and why wouldn't you? Here's Patrick.